Alright, alright. What's really going on? Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Today, we're taking a look at Dogecoin against US dollar Tether on the Binance chart. Going to be taking a look at the technical aspects of price action moving forward. We're going to see what's really going on here with Dogecoin. Jumping right into it. What the heck is this? Realistically, Dogecoin has been trapped in this very tight, ridiculously tight range for like approaching like 2 months here since we fell into this zone between 4 cents and kind of 6 cents. We've been trapped in that like dreaded 5 cent sort of level there for like approaching 2 months there in about a week or so. What's really happening? So on the technical aspects of things, it is quite overbought, and there's plenty of resistance present. There's heavy resistance kind of above sort of 5 cents in that 6 cent range, under 7 cents. We find pretty heavy resistance with some decent kind of price action between like above 6 cents and under kind of 8 cents there, almost up to 9 cents. Not really significant price action, but enough that we could find some sort of dancing and moving around up in those levels. Now, we were able to kind of pump through it, so technically we are kind of near resistance, but fundamentally Dogecoin wants to pump. It wants to be bullish for whatever reason. This coin has kind of more value fundamentally than it kind of ever has before. But we are facing some pretty key technical resistance here, and so far Elon Musk can't really, it's only really getting us so far with his tweets and whatnot about the sort of nonsensical perceived value that is Dogecoin. Realistically, Dogecoin has been around for quite some time. It was made as just like almost like a joke, prank cryptocurrency, and as traded at kind of near worthless for sort of majority of its life. Now this is only the Binance chart, so it only goes back so far, but there's plenty of years of Dogecoin's life and price action where it traded at a very insignificant price level. It would have these volatile runs and spikes and sell off very aggressively, dip very aggressively, but it always has somehow maintained a trading volume above zero. So it has stayed alive. It has survived kind of longer than a lot of other coins, and now more than ever, it has been able to gain the volume and liquidity available to reach these insane price levels and these insane price targets. And who would ever thought we'd have price action up at almost 9 cents? Now we're looking to hold 5 cents, and that's kind of the sort of key level here. I mean, the longer we can hold 5 cents, the kind of more long-term bullish, if Doge has long-term. It does tend to want to trade sideways for kind of as long as it needs to, but it does also love to aggressively pump by hundreds of percentages in very kind of quick succession. We turn on EngineeringRobo. We have a new perspective come into play along with these Fibonacci lines here. We have this super buy and buy 2 coming into play just a few days ago during the kind of wick back back on the 1st of April there. Good old April Fool's prank. They thought we were breaking out, thought we were finally getting out of this big old resistance here, but no, there was plenty of sell orders waiting to push prices right back down. But we seem to be closing in a more bullish manner above this key sort of Fibonacci level here in the 5 cent range. That suggests kind of further interaction with this resistance, and the more we can beat and batter it down, the more we can solidify it as further support. And when we close, start interacting above it, under 9 cents and above 6 cents. I believe this to be a key range which we can probably expect to interact with if we don't just fly all the way through it. But I believe there's going to be plenty of traders waiting to sell at these levels that have been kind of waiting for it to come out of this dreaded range. But the super buy and buy 2 is quite promising. We have a moon still in play, a buy 4 still in play from back in the 1st of January. So this is still considered an uptrend. And we have still a sell 3 present. So that suggested the consolidation kind of pending. If the buy 3 were to return, that would be kind of more midterm bullish, in my opinion. But like I said, this buy 2, this super buy, is very promising. That's a lot of movement. That's a very strong bullish suggestion, and does heavily suggest that we can interact with this resistance within the next sort of kind of couple days here. Now, lots going on with Dogecoin. There's a lot of conflicting fundamental and technical aspects that you really have to consider when considering this project. And so, when we were to consider the price of Bitcoin and Dogecoin, so Dogecoin's price against Bitcoin, we're seeming to be finding support along this sort of 97 Satoshi level there, all the way down to the sort of 92 Satoshi to 97. That seems to be kind of significant support with some buy pressure there. The longer we hold kind of that level, the more sort of midterm bullish we can be. Turning on EngineeringRobo, along with these Fibonacci levels here, we have the super buy 2, and early bird coming into play on the Bitcoin chart as well, suggesting that we could gain against Bitcoin in the near future here, as Bitcoin finds its sort of grounds and stabilizes, as it needs to decide where it wants to go. But these very heavy buy signals suggest that we can perhaps get some gainage against Bitcoin in the very near future here. We have a sell 4 still present, but these very bullish buy signals suggest a break upward out of this consolidation here. Perhaps some more retests towards the lows of 90 kind of Satoshi kind of range, and we can get bought up kind of again to re-interact with this yet another significant kind of resistance, I believe, kind of above sort of the 100 Satoshi to all the way up to pretty much 120-ish kind of Satoshi. I believe is some relatively significant resistance that we're going to have to interact with and close above before we can kind of continue gaining against Bitcoin. And so with that, there's lots going on, but the volatility of Dogecoin is ever so present. And so even back in sort of end of 2020, beginning of 2021, when we had these super buys and buy 4s coming in, we still would consolidate sort of downward, and there would be sort of a few weeks of consolidation before the ridiculous candles like these. So hypothetically, we could very well see some more sideways at a more tighter range, at a more key level, before we kind of take off again. But there's kind of just so many things going on with Doge that you never know what could happen. Elon Musk at any point in time could do something that endorses Doge, and we could double or triple overnight. But there's plenty of traders, I believe, waiting to sell, and there's tons of sell pressure present at the moment. When we consider Dogecoin's price on a different chart, perhaps let's go to Doge on just Bittrex in this example. We see a new perspective come into play here. Now, we have the fear and FOMO zone in view. I just zoomed out to get the Fibonacci levels there. We have the fear and FOMO zone present, so we are very thick in the FOMO zone. How strange, how odd, how weird. There's plenty of FOMO in this range, tons of traders buying, but there's very, very heavy sell pressure. Tons of sell pressure, holding us sideways, holding us, pushing us down, keeping us in this tight range. There's tons of traders waiting to sell at these levels because on this chart, perhaps we can see some more history. Now this only goes back to 2018, only so slightly farther than Binance, but still not far enough to encompass the kind of entire life of Doge there. But wow, now in the most recent price action, we are in a very volatile, very high sell pressure range. I mean, the longer sideways we can stay in it, the more bullish long term it can become. If we can fight all this sell pressure, and if we can hold through all this, then we could definitely see some more crazier gains in the sort of mid to longer term. But this is very high sell pressure. This is the FOMO zone. Traders are FOMOing in. Fundamentally, it wants to pump, it wants to go high. There's plenty of traders that want this coin for whatever reason, but the technicals are to present as well. And so there's lots you have to consider when investing in Doge right now. There's lots going on. We could easily kind of pump again and bounce off of that 9 cents very quickly, very aggressively. There's lots of volatile action going on at this range. But I believe some sideways perhaps is still to be expected. But those buy signals were quite bullish back on the Binance chart there. Say we let's just hide the fear and FOMO zone. Yeah, no, we have these still very heavy buy signals. So lots going on with Doge. Watch out for the breakout here. There's very strong resistance still. If we get rejected off of kind of the 6, sort of like 6.8, 6.7 cent kind of range there, and we print a lower high relative to the swing high back on April 1st, I believe that to be quite short-term bearish, and we could consolidate downward and dip into the 3 cent, 2 cent kind of range, and kind of get some more buy pressure down in there, and that will solidify as perhaps long-term. But I believe once we leave the FOMO zone, that would be more kind of short-term bullish and even long-term, because leaving the FOMO zone allows for more room to gain and more breathing room once we get out of this really intense sell zone. Now, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hearing my analysis. Try EngineeringRobo, free, link in the description. Check out all the social media down below. Subscribe here on YouTube, and tune in for the next one.